Alright, well, what is going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode today. Today, I've got a fantastic episode for you guys. I want to thank all the brand new subscribers who've joined the channel. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, comment down below, join the community. Lots of content coming up on the Psy Gains channel. In case some of you are new over here, you can expect a ton of Land Cruiser content with my very own 100 series and my 80 series, comparisons, reviews, and a whole lot more right here in sunny Kenya. You know, most of us own petrol vehicles. How do I get the best fuel economy out of my petrol Land Cruiser? Everything that I do to get the best sort of mileage out of my V8 petrol 4.7 liter Land Cruiser 100 series. This is actually a Land Cruiser Cygnus. What is Land Cruiser Cygnus? Basically an LX 470, and so that's basically what I'm driving. It's a JDM version. So in the US, you guys got LX 470. In the Japanese market, it was called the Land Cruiser Cygnus. It wasn't it wasn't the Lexus variant. The Japanese are quite happy with the Cygnus, the Land Cruiser variant. So it's a Land Cruiser Cygnus. Basically means it's like the LX 470. You've got better leather in here, you've got better sound insulation in here, and you've just overall got a nicer handling suspension. Now, as you guys know, this is the AHC system. What is AHC? Maybe a lot of you like the Land Cruisers or are seeing the Land Cruisers around. You're wondering what the AHC system is. Well, AHC is automatic height control, and that's basically a hydraulic system from Toyota which allows the vehicle to run on basically an oil. The suspension has an oil that travels through it, and it also has a bit of nitrogen in what we call these globes or these spheres that are under the vehicle. And so what that basically helps is to give this sort of very plush ride. You can see right now I am inside a vehicle. I am on a highway, but it seems very silent, right? It seems very well put together, very composed. And that's exactly what this kind of suspension setup gives you. So first of all, why do I own petrol Land Cruisers? Why do I love the petrol Land Cruisers so much, guys? Now, you guys got to remember that I've always been into petrol Land Cruisers. You know, my father had one, and it's been in my family. So, you know, the diesels were never sort of a thing that we sort of aspired to get. It was always the petrol, and of course the 4.7 liter V8, the sound of it, you know, the revving, just such a smooth, amazing engine, guys. Honestly, it's just such a fantastic engine, and I just absolutely love it. If you own a diesel 100 series, perhaps the 1.8Z engine, I'll have you know the 1.8Z engine is not an economical engine. With the 1.8Z, you can actually expect fuel economy of like 6 kilometers a liter. It's not particularly good at all. In fact, it's pretty average. You might as well get the petrol. And that fuel economy that we're giving up to the diesel, we're sort of making up in service, or at least I think we're making it up in service, because this Land Cruiser Cygnus has treated me quite well, guys. I must say, touch wood. In the 4 years or so that I've owned this vehicle, we have just been doing oil services, oil filters, air filters, oil changes, and other standard fluid changes. But for my needs and for the general public, the petrol Prados, the petrol Land Cruisers, they give us good enough fuel economy for the kind of for the way they treat us. You guys got to remember that the maintenance and the easygoing nature of these vehicles is quite nice. Now, I'm not saying I don't do any maintenance. These vehicles do ask for maintenance, in terms of suspension, preventative maintenance in terms of things like coolant fluid flushes that I like to do, brake fluid flushes that I like to do, hydraulic suspension fill-ups that I like to do, and all those sort of other preventative maintenance things. But the main ways that I maintain my fuel economy in my vehicle is by, first of all, not being that sort of heavy on the pedal, heavy off the pedal kind of driver. Yeah, when you drive a vehicle like this, guys, you want to sort of calm it down. You want to bring your level 2-3 notches down, because it inspires that in the person as well. This kind of vehicle really calms you down. It's silent in here. It's a wonderful cabin, and it's just a pleasure to drive. And so you'll notice yourself sort of calming down and driving a bit calmer. I'm not getting on the pedal. I don't want to rev it out. You know, if I have to, if I'm going on a long journey, I'd do that and it would still be okay in terms of fuel economy. But driving in the city, you don't want to drive on someone else's bumper or that kind of thing. So first thing you want to do to really get your petrol fuel economy, really reel it in, is to drive like a grandpa. I mean, okay, a lot of, maybe some of you are like, that's not how I like to drive. Listen, as you get older, you like to drive a bit calmer. You like a bit of calmness. I'm not 18 years old. I'm just about 30 years old. And so I enjoy the calm nature of driving, the calm nature of enjoying my vehicle, enjoying the petrol sound, enjoying, you know, that V8 engine. So first thing, drive a bit like a grandpa. Don't be too heavy on the pedal, you know, on, off the pedal. Avoid that. Number two, and this is an important thing, a lot of people who, you know, who drive their Land Cruisers, they don't change their air filters often enough, guys. You got to remember, guys, the air filter is the one sort of object between, you know, the outside air and your engine. Your engine needs that air to breathe. So if the simple sort of thing as an air filter, which costs about $20, $30, if that is already clogged, then your engine can't breathe, guys. So for a relatively inexpensive part, you are suffering with power to your engine. You're not letting your engine breathe, and you're definitely consuming more fuel as a result of that. So number two, guys, open up your engine bays. You know, get down and dirty with these things. It's really simple. We're talking about 6 clips on the air filter, and I mean on the air box, and you can basically have the filter out, and you can replace the filter yourself. It's very simple. So air filters, guys, that's number two. Take care of your air filters. Check your air filters more regularly and change them out more regularly. I know we say 10,000 kilometers or 15,000 kilometers, but you guys have got to remember that Nairobi is under construction. Nairobi is a dust ball, and so you will notice those air filters getting dustier. So that's number two, air filters. Number three, what we can do to really improve our fuel economy, and that is, of course, more regular oil services. Now, guys, the oil is, again, like the blood of your system. In the human body, we have the blood. In the vehicle, we have the oil. The oil is the complete medium that keeps the engine running, lubricated, keeps parts fresh, and that is basically the key to the longevity of your engine. So if you're the type of person that really skimps out on oil services, you know, you're too cool for Toyota oil services, you know, you believe Toyotas are just indestructible, that's going to lead to bad things. If I've realized one thing about Toyotas, yes, they're bulletproof and everything, but they are not bulletproof if you have not done good maintenance. If you've not done good maintenance, they are still going to give you royal problems. Regular oil services is another thing of opening the bonnet of your vehicle, getting inside there, taking out the dipstick. Every vehicle has a dipstick, and check the condition of the oil. If it's looking nice, golden, see-through, your oil is in good condition. But if that oil is starting to brown and darken much quicker, it means your oil in your engine, first of all, is in a worse condition, and you need to start doing more regular oil services. And I would in fact even advise an engine flush and then regular oil services after that. So we've gone on 3 things now, guys. The third one was the regular oil services for the petrol engine. They love it. It absolutely loves it, and it's one of the great ways to continue getting very good fuel economy in your vehicle. Now, number 4 in a petrol vehicle is to try not to load your vehicle with items that you don't need. I love the stock look of my vehicle. I love the way Toyota sort of released their vehicles from the showroom, and so I'm not the type of person who's going to add a front steel bumper or a rear steel bumper or any of that sort of stuff, guys. That stuff is not for me, and that stuff simply adds weight, unnecessary weight to your vehicle. More weight means worse fuel economy. Engine has to work harder and you get worse fuel economy. So number 4, don't add unnecessary weight to your vehicle. And number 5, guys, is a very simple one, and that is tires. One of the most important things, one of the main things that can change the ride handling of your vehicle. Tires, guys. So tires will greatly impact fuel economy in any vehicle. Now, typical, because Land Cruisers, solid axle, heavier vehicles, yes, you can upgrade tires, you can put on some bigger tires. But I can give you some simple advice here. If you own a Land Cruiser 100 series, standard tire size 275/60/18, I'd say stick to that tire size. But if you want to stray away from that tire size, don't go larger than 285/60/18, and don't go for a mud terrain tire. Go for an all-terrain tire. Otherwise, that mud terrain tire will have too much wind resistance and you'll get pretty bad fuel economy. Now, keep in mind, I'm talking about fuel economy for these type of vehicles, you know, Land Cruiser 200, Land Cruiser 100, you know, these refined Land Cruisers. You know, I'm not particularly talking about the Land Cruiser 80 series. I've got big fat tires on my 80 series, and I don't particularly mind because I don't particularly measure or care about the fuel economy on that. So we're talking about these refined vehicles, 100 series and Land Cruiser 200 series, guys. So tires are a big thing. Don't stray past 285, or on the 200 series, don't stray past 285/65/18. But already on that size, you will be seeing at least 1 kilometer per liter less fuel economy. So number 5, and a big one, is of course tires. The best sort of scenario for you with tires, the best case scenario, is if you just simply run the stock tire size in a full highway terrain, highway tread tire. That'll give you the best, most smoothest ride and the best fuel economy. So these are some of the things that I like to, some of the check boxes that I like to keep in my mind to ensure that I'm sort of averaging out on you know, almost the best fuel economy that I can expect from this sort of vehicle. Now, some of you out there will be like, oh no, this is horrendous fuel economy. You know, I'm getting about 5 kilometers a liter in the city, maybe 6.5 to 7 kilometers a liter on the highway. Some of you are like, this is horrendous fuel economy, it's terrible. But you guys got to remember what I'm driving. This is a Land Cruiser. We've got a solid axle in the rear. This vehicle can go through some of the craziest corrugations and some of the craziest terrain that you can imagine. I know, because I've done it. And so I can confirm that, you know, you want to go out on safari, take a Land Rover. You want to come home, take a Land Cruiser. That I can confirm that statement. And so some of you wondering, oh, that's not the best fuel economy. Look where I'm sitting. Look at the peace. Look at the quiet. Look at the comfort. I've got a hydraulic suspension under me. Look at what I'm sitting on. We're talking about, you know, soft, extremely soft, you know, amazing leather seats. And, you know, there's just no way of sort of getting about this, guys. It is just that good. It's so good. So comfortable. And I know this because even on the, you know, sort of 10-hour Mombasa trip where we did like over 1,400 kilometers, every time I got out of the Cygnus, I was fresh. I was ready to go, you know. And, you know, that's something that you can say of the petrols, guys. The refinement, the silence, you know, the smoothness, it tires you out less. It's as simple as that, and it's the truth. And that's what I love so much about these petrols. The engine sounds so amazing. You can barely hear it running. You can barely hear the transmission shifting. And so, you know, those are some of my tips and tricks on maximizing your fuel economy for some of you out there wondering about these bigger engines or these bigger vehicles and what kind of fuel economy you can expect in case you buy one of these vehicles. It's not that bad, and you guys are the ones who can make it either pretty good or either pretty bad. And it depends on the driver, it depends on the driving style, it depends on how you like to drive. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Lots of, you know, more of those snapshots and clips, trying to give you a much more wholesome video, high quality video for you guys, of course. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit like, subscribe, comment down below. If you learned something, let me know. Join the community. It's been Masai Gaines checking out.